Okay, video lesson for our first assignment, just to show you a few of them here. So we're going to calculate areas, but let's go through some steps that I want. Identify the shape. Let's take a second and write down, which of the shapes it is. Um, Choose correct formula. As far as units of measure go, make sure units of measure are consistent. For all the dimensions. And then what we're going to do is we're going to substitute in values and solve. So that's kind of the process we're going to use. Okay, so let's look at the first one. To identify the shape, it's a trapezoid, we hope. Yeah, it actually is, because those are right angles. Those have to be parallel. So choose the formula, 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. Substitute in values that we know. We can call 8.9 base 1. The bases are the parallel sides. And let your calculator do the rest. And we have 119.78. There's no units of measure. So that's it. Now I'm skipping. Okay, I'm just going to give you a few. So number 8, triangle. Area is 1/2 base times height. The trick in this one, what to use. Is it the 18 or is it 13? Let's say we want the shaded region. So this is just extra so that we can get the height. Okay, they had to extend that base just to show you the right angle, because the base and the height have to make a right angle. So the base is going to be the 13, not the 18, and height is 7. Let the calculator do the work, and we have 45.5 or 45.5. And again, no units of measure, so don't worry about that. Okay, we have a kite here. Because it's got two sets of consecutive sides, congruent. We'll learn that later in the year. The area formula right now, okay, I'm going to give you, but at the end of the year, this will not. You either memorize this or we go about it a different way. That's a right angle. We'll use some Pythagorean theorem and things like that. So for now, it's 1/2 the product of the diagonals. Diagonal 1 times diagonal 2. All right, this indicates this 13 here. That indicates that this whole thing right there is 13. That's one of the diagonals. And the other diagonal, it looks like, is 24. Calculator is going to do the work here for number 9. 156 is what we get there. All right, next one. So we've got to make sure that we work some formulas backwards, this is a great example right here. First, parallel sides. That's at least a trapezoid. Formula, 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. Oops. Okay, here's what is different. I almost took a bad step here. Let's see. I want to erase that. So we're going to substitute in the values we know. Well, at this point, we know the area. We're going to substitute in 196. So a little unusual. We're not just evaluating. We're solving in this case. So keep the 1/2. Base 1 we have. Base 2 we have. And we don't have that height, so they replace it with x. All right, order of operations. Let the calculator do that. When it does, we're going to get 24.5. So all of that's going to go to 24.5. And to get rid of that, because it's multiply, we're going to perform the inverse operation of multiply, which is divide. When we do that, we get 8. So the height is going to be 8, and we do have to pay attention to units of measure. X is 8 or 8 feet. X is 8 is fine. All right, last one that we're going to cover. We're going to do, some of this where it is on a graph. So we have to identify the shape. It looks like a kite, and here's why. Diagonals are perpendicular, and one bisects the other. You'll learn that later in the year. Okay, we're going to identify the diagonal lengths. I don't know what happened. Sorry about this. Okay, must have bumped something. Back to it. So we have the diagonal length that we need. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to count those. Here's the other one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it looks like. Yep. So we get our formula. Again, you'll have to memorize this or go about it a different way. It doesn't matter which one diagonal 1 is. We'll call it 4. Diagonal 2 is 6. And we get an area of 12. So that's just a little video lesson on some of the homework. Hopefully it'll help. And thanks for tuning in.